Hey, everybody, welcome on into the studio. And we have a very special live at 5 here at ClayShare for you. We have the fabulous Melanie from Ceramipics joining us, and she's going to teach you how you can make your own leopard mask from ceramic decals. She has this fabulous kit that you can use. And in addition to these decals, Melanie's website, Ceramipics, has dozens and dozens and dozens, maybe hundreds, I don't know if we say thousands. She's got a lot. She's got a lot of decals on there. She also does custom decals. I get asked all the time, where can I get a custom decal made? Well, you know what? We're going to have the lady on with us right in a minute, and she's going to show you how to get in touch with her, and it's going to be easy peasy for you all. All right, so we're going to do this live. I'll be moderating. Melanie will be teaching. If you have any questions at all, just tap them into the chat. And I will relay the information to Melanie. If it's something that's already been asked, I will go ahead and type the information in so we don't have to interrupt her while she is working. Now, just a reminder, it's bead week here at ClayShare, so it's a week of jewelry making classes and texture classes. So directly after this at 6:15 p.m. Eastern, I'm gonna have a class where I'm gonna teach you how to make a sand dollar-esque stamp out of clay that you can use as a texture tool on any of your pottery, but you can also use it to make some cute sand dollar jewelry, kind of a preview of our new class that's coming out tomorrow over here. All right, everyone, let's head on over and see how Melanie is doing this afternoon and learn how to make this fabulous leopard mask. Hey, Melanie, how are you?
Hey, Jess, thanks so much for having me back. It's always a treat to hang out with the peeps at ClayShare.
We're so happy to have you here tonight.
So like Jess said, Ceramipics is your favorite source for custom decals. And I have stock designs also, and that's a little bit of what I'm going to share with you. I think we're numbering into the hundreds yet, not quite the thousands, but you know, it can happen. We're going to be using a mask today. We're not going to be making one. So I may have described that poorly when I was talking to Jess and Kevin.
Yeah, I went with mask. I was like, oh,
I
a leopard mask. Using a mask to make a leopard design.
Yes. So
okay, that's so good. I'm cool. But you know what? I think you could make a mask out of this. So I don't think it's wrong.
It's not. It's not. It's and.
It's and.
So I think on my last one of my visits with you all, we did this nifty little seahorse, and it launched a whole line of designs that I call a mask and transfer kit. So if you can see, Kevin, you want to show my desk for me? I have a set of he'll get it. He will get it. I have a set of designs that have, it's a kit, and they all have a custom cut vinyl mask as your starting item. You have a printed image on a piece of clear acetate, and that'll be useful in just a moment. The design is on a piece of clay carbon, so you can transfer it onto your thing. And then you also get the very highly detailed decal. Now, if you take a look at that leopard on that decal, that is a busy design. I don't know about you, but I don't want to do all that stuff with a brush. So I know people who do, and my hat's off to them. I am not one of them. So I like to find cool ways to do things with different tools. And cutting a mask out of vinyl for me is so satisfying and so useful. So without further ado, I'm going to get into the how we use all these nifty little pieces. So we'll take the pieces away. And where did my eraser go? You don't need to see that little bit anymore. Don't you love dry erase? It's amazing how many different surfaces work for dry erase. Glazed ceramic, friends, is always dry erase friendly if it's glossy. If it's matte, check the label. Anyway, so we start with a plate. And this was the mask that I showed you, but that's not how it's going to come to you. I showed you this version so you could see it nice and clear. It's going to come to you with a piece of transfer tape on it. And that transfer tape is going to help you get it from its backing onto your plate, mug, whatever. And with the design, the Leopard's kind of simple, so it's less critical. But if you have a really fussy design with lots of thin edges, this transfer tape is your best friend. So the way to use it is you flip it over. And I just peeled off the heavy backing. And now I have my transfer tape holding the image. And it's basically masking tape. And it doesn't have quite the level of stick that the vinyl does. So this gives me a couple opportunities to see how well I've got it centered. Or, I may not want it centered. I might want to put that Leopard completely off center, but that's going to make some people twitchy. So we'll go with centered because that makes us all happy. So we put it where we want it. We burnish it. I can do it with my finger. I can do it with a rib, but I want the vinyl stuff. All right. Once I think I got the vinyl stuck, now the transfer tape, bye. That's the end of that. So I make sure I've got the edges sealed down. Now that's where my design's gonna be. Now I have the chance to put on a background. I am an impatient decorator. I don't like to do soft, careful brush strokes and I don't like to do 3 coats of anything. Sponge is my best friend. So I'm gonna put a yellow background with my Leopard. It could be any color you wanted. It could be totally black. How often do you get the chance to put black down? But
You don't really. It's often it's hard. So just to recap, you have a bisque piece right there. You have a vinyl mask that's going to resist everything on the bisque. And this is allowing you to leave a space for the decal that goes on after it's been glaze fired.
Right. We're kind of decorating backwards.
Yeah, but you're planning ahead.
It's common in ceramics to lay your fill color down before you put the outline on. Put the outline on last. That was a surprise for me when I got my training back in the early aughts. And a really nice, talented guy named Jeff McDonnell was teaching me how to do stuff as I opened my contemporary studio. And he showed me how to paint a glass of wine by painting the wine first and then putting the outline around it. Who does that?
So, I mean, if you put a lot of wine out there, you're going to make a big glass. But
I could have made a very big glass. So I'm going to add a little extra color on here. I'm adding in a little orange. Just to break it up a little bit. I'm being extraordinarily inconsistent on purpose because I don't like to be fussy. I have artist friends and non-artist friends who love the detail level of that, and I'm just not one of them. And I know you all understand because we all decorate differently. And because this is a leopard, I'm going to put some spots on. Okay. And I'm not going to make you painstakingly watch as I do every one of those. I'm just trying to mimic what my finished sample looks like. So this looks a little like it's on purpose. Right? So, okay. This, you can do as much or as little of that sort of thing as you like. Look at me crossing over myself to get to my water bowl.
So cheetah and leopard spots, that is really trending right now in fashion, for the fall. That's like all the design houses are doing a lot of leopard and cheetah designs.
Even better to know.
I know. And so anybody who wants to be on trend, leopard this is great.
This is great. All right. So I could have done this and a whole bunch more, but I've decided I am happy enough with my background. Now it's time to get rid of the mask. And I just grabbed a sharp tool. I could use the back of a brush. I could use a pin. I could use tweezers just to get under there. Ta-da. How perfect is that? Now you've got a clean white slate or a clean slate to put whatever design you want. And because you were smart and you got a kit in order to make this cool stuff, now that acetate comes into play. This is going to let me visually line up where the edges of that leopard's face go. And then I will take the transfer piece and line it up under the acetate. I used to do this with just the transfer paper, and it was a little challenging to get it lined up. And I was doing this project with a friend of mine. Let me specify, a non-artist friend of mine. She's an accountant. She said, "Why don't you do something on clear for that?" Huh, how about that? What a nifty idea. So I did. So it's always a good idea to run your ideas past your friends. All right, so now here's my clay carbon, and I have simplified the design somewhat. This is the decal. All of these black things are going to be black on the decal. There is no reason for me to color them in with something else because they're going to be black. So I removed a lot of that. So you're not tracing things you don't need to worry about, frankly. I also don't need to worry about that outer edge. Why? Because it's already there. I don't need to trace that on because my image exists inside of my plate. So now I'm going to transfer some or all of these design elements. I can't imagine you're interested in watching me transfer every single one of these. But I'm going to give it a go. Just so you can get the idea. Doesn't need to be perfect, because perfect only comes from machines. And we are artists. We are not machines. Even using all of these exact tools, your project is going to look different than mine every single time. I used to have scouts come in to my shop, and I would hand them 10 colors and some brushes, and I left all the cool toys behind. And always amazed me just how incredibly different all those projects look just because the person creating them was as different as the next. And you can choose to transfer as much or as little of this pattern as you like. I try to give you enough to be useful, but if you don't feel like tracing it all and would like that to be a solid color, well, great. All right, we're going to fast forward and pretend that I've done all of it. And there you go. I did two elements. I did the forehead element and I did the element on the leopard's nose. At this point is where I would pick my colors and get back in there and start to color them in. And again, I'm not gonna bore you, but I'll just grab a couple colors for demo. And the usual rules apply. One or two coats is going to give you more of a watercolor look, sheer, see-through. 2 to 3 coats gives you solid opaque. Never darker. I don't like to use the word darker because that's a whole different color value, right, Jess?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's either you see your brush strokes or you don't. And we've already discussed that I am not a fussy 3 coats kind of girl, although I will do it if it's absolutely necessary. But if I'm just doing it for my own fun, then I try to go watercolor image. Because watercolor techniques that, there's some cool watercolor teachers out on the socials too. And those techniques translate really well on Bisqueware also. All right. So we're going to do the magic of television again. And we're going to pretend that I've colored in every single one of those designs that I very carefully, painstakingly traced and thought about each and every color. And presto changeo. That's what I would get if I finished all lines and added some clear glaze over my center space and glazed everything on the plate that needed to be glazed. And this plate has been fired to 06 because this is a low fire piece of earthenware.
So we have a couple questions. One
Yeah.
is what kind of pen did you use to make your transfer? Does it matter? Just a ballpoint pen?
It's just a ballpoint pen.
Just a ballpoint pen.
Yep. And I mean, it's nothing special. Often,
just any old pen.
Any old pen, pencil. In fact, I often like to use a red pen because then I can see where I've traced already. That's just it. You just need a sharp, pen will work, pencil, crayon, not so much for this one.
And does the kit come with detailed instructions? So if someone buys the kit?
It does. It's going to tell you all of these things that I'm telling you, in what order to do them. So please don't feel badly if you're not scribbling notes, because as we all know, Jess and Kevin have this stuff up for you guys to watch at your leisure. So this is just get an idea and ask your questions.
And can folks reuse the kit? Now you get one decal. You
get one mask, you get one decal. You can reuse the pattern and transfer it more. I am happy to cut more masks for you. And I'm going to make a note that that's got to get on the website to, that add-in.
You want to add more masks, add more decals?
You want to add more masks?
Because it's one decal that fires on the surface. And
it's one decal. So this is a kit for one. I was thinking how much fun this would be for a party.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
If you're having your girlfriends over, because that's what I did last week. I had some of my oldest, dearest, non-artistic friends come over. And this is perfect because you can lead them step by step, and they're going to walk away with a specifically tight project, and you didn't have to think about it.
So you just use, for colors, we're using underglaze or we're using stroke and coat?
In this case, I'm using stroke and coat. I have done it with underglazes also. Your color options are almost, well, they're your choices. I would say make sure they don't move. I wouldn't put something with a lot of flux in it because you want those things to stay put. But whether you're working on a low fire piece of earthenware like I am, or if you like working with stoneware and colors, more power to you, because the firing of the decal doesn't change. It just needs to be a shiny, or it needs to be a glazed ceramic surface. So, this could easily be done with stoneware or even porcelain, if you like. It's whatever medium makes you happy. Let's see. Oh, well, I kind of got backwards on I wrote a script for myself and everything, and I got it backwards. So now now the exciting part. This is now we're fast forwarding at least 2 days because you fired it and cooled it, and now it's ready for the decal. Do you believe I lost that thing?
Oh, I believe it. I lose stuff in like a nanosecond, and it can be sitting right next to me, and then it's just,
And it was. So let's see here. Move that over. I got some water here because I'm going to show you how to apply the decal. So I'm going to take my decal and I'm going to plop it in some water. I like warm water, just warmish, not hot, because it'll all react way too quickly, but tepid warm. This is room temperature, so this is going to take an extra 30 seconds to get happy. And because I've had my fingers all over this plate, I'm going to give it a quick wipe with some rubbing alcohol. I just keep it in a little bottle and a little rag. And this just makes sure any of the finger oils are not there. Okay.
We have a good question from Paula McCoy. She wants to know about shrinkage rate when using this for stoneware. Won't the decal be larger than the painted surface?
You
So it
got me,
depends.
Paula.
It depends. Yeah, I mean, so stoneware tends to shrink between 11, about around 11, 12%, porcelain 14, earthenware is about 8. Some
Now
earthenware
you're
might only
talking, are you
like
talking
shrinking
greenware
total
to bisque or
now I'm
bisque to
talking
glaze?
total shrink. I'm talking total shrinkage. So honestly though, where you are, because you're going from bisque to glazeware, shrinkage will be about half. So I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. It'll be like a 2% difference. I don't think 2% is going to show up that much. We need to test it. I know we got you, didn't we? Melanie's doing math.
Yeah, no, she's not. No, no. And there's a good reason for that.
I don't think it would be that big of a deal. There will be some shrinking more with stoneware than you will have with earthenware, but not much more. But there is a percentage. So it depends on what clay you're using.
Yeah, there's that too. So, okay. Now, I've soaked my decal, and I know it's ready to come out because I can feel it moving on its backing. So we will take the water out of frame because we're done with it. Now here's how you apply a decal. I slide it off its backing, and I slide the backing out from under. Bye-bye. And now, I ever so gently slide this thing into place. And I'm lining up the black lines with, sorry, I didn't mean to shout at y'all. I'm lining up the black lines with the colors that were already there because everything is made off the same file. And there we go. And then I start to squeegee the water out from under. I have these nifty little applicators, and I find them to be really useful. They're flexible and they're soft. You don't want something too tight or too hard. A credit card would not be good. But maybe a soft rib if you have it. That's wonderful. So it's something to gently work this water out because there is a fair bit of it. Well, now it's going to make a liar out of me. But as you wipe the water off, keep working your way around and working your way around. And I noticed that I did not do a nice, neat trim on my leopard face before I sunk it in water. Is it too late to fix that? That's an excellent question. Thank you for asking. No, it's not. I'm going to take a handy dandy X-Acto knife and I'm just going to trim alongside that decal, just coming up close to get rid of some of the excess material because the material can remain visible. This is a flux product. This is decal with no image on it. So it has volume, it has stuff. On low fire, it's the least visible. Stoneware and porcelain, it's a little more noticeable. If you hold your piece in just the right light, you can see the edge. That's kind of a thing we have to live with in the world of a decal. If it's going to make you crazy, well, then this might not be the right decorating medium for you. But I like to be very clear with folks that it's just like stilt marks on low fire. You just got to live with it. Oh, hey, look, I just tore half of my leopard's whiskers. But fortunately, I caught that tear before I tore them all the way off. And I am just going to make that piece sit back down. Take my little cloth here. And if I put it back, yeah, can't even see it. You weren't paying that close attention. You may not have even noticed me do it. And here, we're going to trim off some other extra. Typically, I would have done this with scissors. But there is, like in so many things with ceramics, there are opportunities to fix the boo-boo. Nothing's permanent until you fire it. So there we go. Now, if I was worried about this decal being in exactly the right position, this is another one of those, it's not done till it's been in the kiln. So if you needed to, oh my goodness, it's out of alignment, I need to shift it. I could put some clean water on here. I could refloat the decal and I could reposition it if I needed to. And there, my friends, is how you get a highly detailed design without spending hours with a brush. Now, hey, Kevin, can you put up the graphic of the decals that, or the designs that exist? Oh,
All right.
well, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
We can
There's
answer
half a
questions if
dozen
you
or
want.
so
Okay.
designs online right now, including the Leopard. I will be adding, and you guys are the ones that are going to get the first view, another 5 designs. I got a fish, a horse, a snail. Oh, a neat looking snail. Some sunflowers, some peonies. So this is a neat product line that I think has a lot of application and can help you get just the neatest look without having the brushwork torture you. So I've had customers that love to sit for hours and hours and just painstakingly do something so detailed, and that's just not me. All right, so once I've got my decal applied and I've let it dry overnight, let's talk about firing. Ceramipics decals must be fired to cone 012 minimum. Cone 012. They can go hotter. I got something cool to show you. Bye, Leopard. All right. Here's a piece. Thank you. We'll come back to that. So I got a nifty, well, sorry, it's sitting in my halo. But this is a piece of stock photography. I fired onto a bisque rectangle and I fired it to 012. Perfectly attractive looking rainbow, right? I took that same decal, same bisque, same base glaze, and I fired it to 06. Can you tell the difference?
No,
I mean,
it didn't shift. I don't see any. I really don't.
it's there, but it's little. So it is, I mean, I see it right here. That blue looks slightly different here, and I'm looking at it live in front of me. You guys are all looking at a screen. So that's another thing that can skew the color. So yes, these will function hotter. They will. They do fine. So if you're in a studio environment where you've got bisque temperature and glaze temperature and never anything else, and your bisque temperature is 06, do your decals at 06. Don't sweat it. I've done plenty. So that was just a note about firing temperature, because so many ceramic artists are used to the Olympic decals, the Trinity decals that have been around for a very long time, and I am not knocking that brand or product at all. They just fire cooler than mine. So I've had some of my own customers just say, oh, I fired it with the rest of my decals and the image started to rub off. How come the image started to rub off? Well, because it needed to go to 012. Yeah, but the ladies in my shop said 017 would be fine. Guess what? It wasn't fine.
Oh, no.
So I just want to, I hammer on that one a little bit. But so just know minimum 012, hotter is generally not a problem. And I've tested all the way to 06 and I have been satisfied with the results. So Kevin, when you got those graphics ready, you want to show us the ones that are available right now? You the best. Oh, okay. I can't see it. So So those are the designs that you can buy, you can order right now. And it's the seahorse that you've seen me do. I put the leopard up for today. We have the llama, the bear, the elephant,
And the eagle.
and the eagle.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So now maybe our friend Kevin will put up the coming almost immediately.
There you go.
So
He did. He switched it to the next one with the
he
leopard.
did. So there we've got the peonies, the sunflower, the marlin, the horse, the snail,
And the leopard.
and oh, I have the leopard on that one. Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, so those are designs that are I'm going to have those up probably by the end of tonight. That's on my to-do list. Let's see. Oh, I had a question from a customer recently. Hi, Kathy, if you're watching. She was asking me about setting her kiln for a slow fire or a fast fire. In all my years doing tech support for Chesapeake Ceramics, I've never found a scenario where faster's better. It's faster, it gets it done quicker, but your work will always thank you for a slow firing. So when in doubt, if you're at all in doubt, go slower. It's going to take more time, and we're okay with that because we want it to work. We can cheat little things going fast. I mean, I've fired plenty of kiln loads of little 2 and 3 inch figurines, and I've done everything wrong and have not paid the price. But if you're really worried, and if it's something special, and you're taking the time to do a piece to put a decal on it, it's special. It's not just a one-off. Take the time, let your kiln have the time to do the heat work, because heat work is not just temperature, but it's time also. And that matters. Let's see here. We talked about how we do those things, talked about our kits. Does anybody have any other questions I didn't hit about firing or applying, or will this work?
Well, they were asking if you have the kits with Paula McCoy designs. Not currently,
Not yet.
maybe, but maybe
I have
soon.
so Paula's got decals, and I have some Paula designs in my collection. And with Paula's permission, I'll put up the extra ones that she and I worked on for earlier this year. I haven't turned those into a kit yet. Not to say I can't or won't. So we know Paula's work is so beautiful and so popular. I'm thinking that rooster of hers ought to be the first one up.
Absolutely. So will you show us the finished leopard plate again, folks?
Oh, yes, I will.
Go ahead and take a gander at how it looks when it's all said and done. So this is after the 012 decal firing.
That's how it's going to look. And all of those black outlines are now already there for you. Nice, clean, even. And if you do it with a bottle, I don't know about you guys, but my bottle would sometimes squirt on me. It happens. It happens. So, decals are the way to get photographs onto a thing. We're starting to stare down the barrel at holiday season, and you want that recipe with Nana's apple pie and her photo with it. I'm your girl. Let's get those ordered. Don't be talking to me about that.
Get them now. Right. So if you want holiday custom decals, order them now from Melanie. And if you want fall ones, you should have ordered, but you still can. So.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'll be glad to make it and send it to you. I want you all to have the time and
to get things made.
Right. And the contemporary studios have a special place in my heart because I used to have one. And we all know that the doldrums of the kids going back to school and nobody's coming through the door because the families are busy. That's when you start scheduling those really special classes of hey, put grandma's recipe on a plate, or hey, let's do something different and special. And you gotta put the idea in your customer's head so they know how to ask you for it. And decals are one way to do something extra that you won't have time to do when the weather starts getting colder and the snow starts flying. Geezy whiz, I had a cool thought that I was going to follow that one up with, but it left for a second. Maybe it'll come back.
Well, Paula wondered if people could just order the masks for her decals, like have them separate. I know you guys should talk. You and
Paul
Paula
and I
should
will
chat.
talk. That's an excellent idea.
You and Paula should chat. I'm sure you do anyways, but
We do. And I'm making notes. And yes, Paula, I can make these and we can sell them. And we're just gonna have to plan the time to get all that done. So the Paula masks, give me a week or so. But we can absolutely do that. And I think masks are such a great way because I don't like painting around things. Do you? I hate painting around things.
Yeah, no, I have ways around. I avoid that.
I'll do a quick color wash and that's about it. So if I want the deeper background, I'm going to do that with create a mask so I don't have to worry about it.
So would you like to share some of the other projects you have there? Do you have some examples of finished pieces? I know I put you on the spot. I didn't ask ahead of time. I didn't know if you wanted to share some finished things so people can see what else you can do with decals. I mean, of course, you can go to Melanie's website. It's Ceramipics, Ceramipics. So it's Ceramipics.com. And if you go there, you can see all kinds of beautiful things. And she has examples of all decals and everything, but it's always nice to see them when we have Melanie on.
This is a project we did for the International Association of Ceramics in Vegas this past winter.
Oh, you went to Vegas to do ceramics.
Ceramics in Vegas, man. I love ceramics. I don't need to go to Vegas ever again. But it was fun to hang around with the ceramics crowd. And this was my first opportunity to teach with them. And I had such a good time. But this is the floral mandala design. And this is what the plate looks like once it's fired, no decal.
And I think you did a version of this with us too on ClayShare.
Did I do mandala with you guys?
You did. I'm pretty sure you did a version of this. Yes. And we have that.
Don't tell the IAC people that because I
think you did it with us first.
I was supposed to do something with them that I hadn't done. So this is a neat one that you can see the before and after.
Before, after, yeah, the detailed pops.
It just and how
a little bit of glare,
looking
from your light, but we can see. I know. Light. There you go. Now flip it down. Ah, perfect. That's exactly right.
Right. So the color is kind of dull and uninteresting, but you pop that decal on and then everything lights up. I have my friend's pieces that aren't decaled yet, but these are the sunflower design that's coming.
Oh.
So the decal will be all
We'll
of
go
that.
around the outside. Yeah.
It's the leaves and the flowers. And then you'll have all the flower detail. And then the peonies. Let's see. Yeah, there we go.
I love those. So pretty.
Yeah. Same deal. It's
same
ready
thing. Had a
decal.
mask. You did the mask, did the background, then did
these were done. These were done by my accounting friends. Okay?
So an accountant did that.
An accountant did this. Not
so you guys can do this. An accountant
they all tell me, I'm not creative. I can't think of what to paint. Okay, we have solved that for you. Did I have another? I don't think all my stuff is packed up.
Well, because you're going to the Fire Arts Expo in a few weeks, right?
How about that? I am going to the Fire Arts Expo.
So Waukesha, Wisconsin, everybody, if you are not signed up, Melanie, how many classes are you teaching there?
I'm teaching 2 classes. I can't tell you what. I mean, you can see them on
fireartsexpo.com.
You can find them on fireartsexpo.com. They are gonna, of course, they're going to involve decals. One is a nifty patriotic sunflower design. So sunflowers and stars and stripes all together. And then another one is a winter scene with Santa's sleigh and some words and some pretty houses and trees. So that one's going to be more of have a little more painterly element to it than the sunflowers will. I mean, we're going to paint with all of it, but it has just a little more freehand work that you can do. And I like to teach things that you can't get wrong. So
that's nice though. It's nice that everybody
you should not be worried about perfection in art.
So, a couple questions. Have you ever had any problem with the vinyl sticky causing issues with the glaze? So, like the sticky from the vinyl mask, when you peel it off, does it stay on the plate
The
and
only time
provide any
I've
problems?
ever seen that happen is when somebody put a hair dryer over top that vinyl.
Oh, yeah.
And especially in a contemporary studio, they want that color to dry fast, and they might have masking. And this is for any adhesive. If you put heat over it, it could leave the transfer behind. You'll know pretty quickly if you've peeled it off and you can feel anything under it. That's a problem. Get after it with a little sand, something gritty. An art eraser goes a really long way to picking up that extra gooey stuff. Worst case, you might, get a little resist somewhere and have to touch up and refire, but that's a teeny tiny little risk there. Right? It's low, but not zero, but highly unlikely because you're starting with a dry piece of bisque. The vinyl's going to stick, and you're not going to need to put heat on it. So once you get all your color laid down, if you need to dry the color, pull the vinyl out, then put the fan on it, put a gentle hair dryer, low heat, 6 inches away. Don't, otherwise it turns into mud and cracks and not in a good way and does things that you may or may not like to have happen. So, but I've done these designs. I've done a ton with Mako Stroke and Coat. I've also, the class I taught in Vegas, I taught using Easy Stroke. This is a great product for Easy Stroke. Not so much the background solid, because that's not its goal, but Easy Stroke is a highly concentrated, stays put product, so you can get those little dots and colors in where you want them and not have to put out a whole lot of stuff.
We had a question about your decals. Are they only black? Do you have color? Do you have gold?
Oh, I do have color. Well, let me come back to my photo samples from earlier. Right?
So you have color decals, black and white
this
decals.
is a piece of stock photography. And, well, it's the same image. You don't need me to show it to you twice. But yes, color photos are the best. Black works everywhere. If when I talk to potters, I like to show them just black designs because potters don't necessarily, we won't paint it with a broad brush. Sorry. They don't necessarily do the little detail brushwork stuff. Glaze is a cover it all or cover a third and 2/3. But if you want to add a black element, it shows up as long as there's enough contrast. But in the world of color, I do have a limitation, and that is color matching. So if you need it to be, and this is just an example because it's recognizable, John Deere green, I cannot guarantee you John Deere green because with temperature, there's so many variables, right? Just in these two, it's the same color and the blues look a little different. So I can't dial it in the way a printer can with regular toner and ink. My decals are made, they're printed with ceramic pigment. So the toner that's normally in your laser printer at the office or in your house, that powder is actually a gazillion ground up underglaze pencils that gets coated and applied just like the office printer does. But it's using actual ceramic pigment, and that product varies in mixing and varies how it shows up with a certain amount of heat. So it's things we've experienced in different degrees, but because we think it's coming out of a printer, she can print anything. Not always. Pinks and purples tend to be, they're jerks. I mean, they're jerks. It's the reason we can't get Barbie pink in a good low fire, or it's hard because there's chemistry, and we've all been begging for it for so many years. And I remember a day when Fire Engine Red was not available in a low fire for non-toxic low fire. And it wasn't until Mako came out with Hot Tamale and Candy Apple Red. Everything else was
hot tamale's great.
close, Duncan had one that was close. Mako had Cherry Bomb was, I think, Mako's closest at the time. So I don't know what magic Steve Cutney, the engineer, did, but he figured it out. And now we can have bright red that you can fire with other colors, because once upon a time you couldn't fire red and green at the same time in the same kiln because they would go squirrely on you. Or so I've been told. That wasn't my experience because I wasn't doing ceramics then. Oh,
All right. So does anybody have any more questions for Melanie? You know, she is the go-to guru for all things ceramic decals. If you need ceramic decals, she will make it for you. So if you have a design, you want to turn it into a decal, she's the lady to talk to. If you are struggling with them, she can help you with that as well. And
happy
you
to help.
have, yeah.
And if you want to send me an image and say, will this work? I'll tell you if it'll work before you commit to buying anything.
See, that's brilliant. So, you know, instead of just selling people something, you're going to help them first. And then if they want it, they can get it. That's the way to do things. I love that.
Me too.
Oh, all right. I can't wait to see you again in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Coming
That's
up.
going to be awesome.
It's going to be so wonderful. So you'll be there. Paula McCoy will be there. Michael Harbridge, Debbie Dela Cruz. I'll be there. Alex from Alexandria Pottery Co. will be there. Shauna from Whole Mountain Pottery is going to be there. So
Ooh,
many
awesome.
people. Yeah, it's new for her to be there. And if I forgot anybody, I'm sorry. So everybody needs to check that out, firedartsexpo.com. And your website, Ceramipics?
Ceramipics.com. And you can shop the existing stock decals. There's more coming. I'm also going to be at the end of September. I'll be in South Carolina at
Okay.
the South Carolina State Ceramics Association show. It's in Columbia, South Carolina. So if that's your part of the world, hit us up. There's going to be awesome bisque vendors galore and other vendors. I think Miss McCoy is going to be down there for that one too. Miss Paula is going to be there, and Jess, we got to get you down there. That's a cute little show, and it's a sweet little part of the country.
I'd love to do it. Oh, Jeff from GR Pottery Forms. Yes, I forgot. How did I forget? How could anyone leave Jeff out?
How can you forget Jeff?
Yeah.
He'll haunt you for that later.
All right. Well, Melanie, thank you so much. This has been really fun. I love seeing your leopard design and how you created it. Of course, if anybody has any questions, they can ask you. And if they get the kit to do the leopard design, it has written detailed instructions in the kit.
Absolutely.
So I love that. And you're doing free shipping?
I am doing free shipping through the end of the weekend for PlayShare folks only.
PlayShare Live, all capital. Get your free
all capital, and that'll give you a discount.
US only. What about international orders?
So
you'll
that
take
discount,
some off.
I'll take the amount off, but international shipping varies based on
so it'll be a little
so
different.
many things.
It'll be a little different.
It will be.
So reach out to you.
Please do.
Yeah. All right. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Melanie. This has been great. I've learned some stuff. I hope you all have learned stuff as well. And I can't wait to see you in Wisconsin soon.
Bye, guys.
All right. Check out Melanie's website.
If you need decals, a lot of times people might need a decal for something and you might not be thinking about it. But I used to, when I was a production potter, do a lot of urns. And folks would come in with a photograph of the person who had passed away and they wanted that on the urn. And so it's something you might not think about, but Melanie could take those photos and create your decals, and then you could create a urn which would become a treasured object for that family and would have the photograph of their beloved loved one. So, I mean, that's such a great thing. And there's so many other things. I saw a really cute bunch of mugs that these 3 girlfriends had a photo of them when they were kids on the end of a dock. And they each got a mug made now with that image on it. So I've seen people get photos of their dogs. They just want to make a mug with their dog. And maybe you can't paint or draw your dog very well, but you want to make a mug with your dog on it, right? Or your cat. Or your lizard, whatever you have for a pet. Melanie can take care of you with that image. So please reach out to her at ceramipics.com. And don't forget to follow ClayShare wherever you are on social media. And if you haven't signed up for ClayShare, well, you can download the ClayShare app. We have a free trial. We have thousands of videos I'm not even kidding. There's so much information on just about everything clay. We have a bunch of other videos with Melanie. We have Paula McCoy. We've had Jeff on there, Debbie from Daylight Design Gifts. We've had so many people. We also have ClayShareCon, which is the largest online ceramic conference that happens every February. So we have 5 years of that. Six years now. You can go back and watch 6 years. And so you have all that in addition to all of our full-length pottery classes, which covers everything from hand building, wheel throwing. We have some slip casting, some extruding, sculpture. We have musical instruments. We have functional wear. We have decorative wear. We have using decals, whether it's making your own laser decals or using commercial decals. We have using gold luster, mother of pearl lusters. We have glazing. We have carving, whether it's graffito or mishima, surface painting, whatever you want, we have got it. So come on over and check it out on clayshare.com. We also have workshops. That's right, we have workshops, and we have one coming up really soon. It's a one-day workshop, the 21st of July. And Carla Chambers is going to teach you how to weave a basket out of clay, and it is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. You have to go check out her workshop. You can sign up for it. When you sign up for ClayShare's workshops, you get them forever. And premium members of ClayShare, you know the rest, right? You get a discount, just like you get discounts on everything. So sign up to be a member. That'll pay for your membership when you get your discount on the workshop. All right, so we're going to take a little bit break here. I'll be back at 6:15 p.m. Eastern Time, 3:15 for those of you Pacific. I'm going to teach you how to make your very own sand dollar bisque stamps. See if I can get this in close enough so you can see them right here, because tomorrow's Bead Week class, which continues, is this fabulous beach treasure necklace. And we've got 2 versions. I'll teach you all the steps to make both of these, right to the glazing and the stringing, the whole thing. That'll be out 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. You'll get to learn all of this, but in just a few minutes, you're gonna learn how to make your own sand dollar stamp. So maybe you could make a little dish like this. Wonder where you could get this rim template to make this dish. You'll have to wait and see. Thank you everybody for being here. Premium members, I will see you in just a few minutes. Everybody else, come on. Join the fun. Go to clayshare.com or download the ClayShare app today. Bye everybody.